Before you Japa, watch this video. Especially if you have plans to keep operating your account when you go overseas, watch this video. All right. A lot of people made these mistakes because they did not know. All right. The easiest way to operate your account when you go overseas is usually through your online banking. All right. But now you may start 1 year or 2 years, but what about 3 years down the road or 4 years down the road? Things could go wrong. What could go wrong? Number one, your OTP. That if you're especially if you're using the hardware token, all right, that physical hardware token, all right. So if you're using that hardware token, do you know that token expires after a point in time? So that could get bad. And if it gets bad, there is nothing you can do again for transactions that you need to use tokens for, especially ones that you are generating yourself. All right. So what do you do about this? Get a soft token. Many banks right now have e-tokens, soft tokens. They can download the apps and generate tokens on the go. All right. So get that before you go, so that it can suffice in case the hard token has a problem or gets lost or something. Because sometimes from over there you may not be able to get it. All right. So that's one token. The second thing is your IDs. Remember, when you're opening your account, some people use maybe international passport, some of them use some people use driver's license. These IDs expire. Remember. So if the thing expires when you are overseas, sometimes when banks are doing KYC, they may tell you that, oh, update. Not every bank allows you maybe update online and all that. Some may require your physical presence and all that. So if that's what you're using, you may need to update it to maybe a PVC card or your NIN card. Those cards don't expire. So if you use those two, at least you won't have to be updating them again and again, all right? So if these are your concerns that you don't have this, before you go, ask your bank, if this things expire, how do you do? Can you do your KYC before you go so that you can adjust this? Or can you do it from over there? Ask that question so that you know what to do, all right? Another thing about bank before you transfer, before you travel out, is some people, especially those that have business accounts. So some of them sign their letter headings and leave them on the ground, maybe for their account manager in case they need to make a request with their business account. All right, they do that. Be very careful. I know you trust them and all that. Everybody is trustworthy and all that. But remember, not everybody is good every time. So find a way to have some check and balances with that. Because if push comes to shove, we've seen situations where people give authority to some people and they use their signature to be collecting money that they did not know like that, and they've turned off the alert, reporting mechanism like the SMS and the rest. So be very careful if you're dealing with that. So if you really trust the person, be checking the trust from time to time, because things can really happen. What if it gets to the wrong hands? All right. So if you're operating a business account, watch out for this. Be very, very careful also. So I've talked about your OTP, I've talked about your IDs, and I've talked about your your sign paper for your letter headings. Is there anything? Let me just check. I wrote this one down. Oh yeah. The final one, your ATM. Sometimes you may be still using your ATM to buy things online with the ATM card, the CRV, the PIN and all that. But remember, your ATM card also expires. So check the card you are using. Sometimes you may check the validity of your card. You may be left with 6 months to go, or maybe 1 year to go, and you're still using it online. So what you can do, you can get another one so that it has at least maybe 3 to 5 year validity, depending on the bank you're using, to go, so that before that one finishes, you may have figured out something. All right. So don't go with an ATM card that just has 2 months validity or 3 months validity. You may not know. So check the expiry date of your ATM card, so you can get a fresh one that has a longer validity, so that even when you travel, you can still be using it maybe for online transactions that involve Nigeria and all that to go. So if you put these few things in place, they may save you a lot of stress until you stabilize and all that, because many times people don't consider this, and when they get there, they run into trouble. So sometimes you have to transfer money to somebody else, or tell them to pay somebody else's account and use the person to be paying other people or running some transactions. And sometimes, NEPA can take light, and sometimes things can come up. Sometimes police can arrest somebody, and it's only your money that was in the account, and now they have to use your money to bail the person. Many things can come up in this Nigeria. It's not like things are bad, but things can just be coming up, and your money can be used to be bringing them down if you don't put all these things in place. If you know, you know. All right. So put these things in place so that as you travel and all that, you minimize the stress and anxiety that comes with all this. Hope you learned something. Hope you put this in place. Share this. Like this video. Share it. Especially if you have Japa friends, send it to them. Or especially even those abroad, send it to them so that they can know these things and take precaution. Because many of them right now, some are still trying to learn, some are still trying to settle. Japa is Japa. Whether it's Europe Japa, whether it's abroad, whether it's overseas, whether it's even Benin Republic Japa, all of them is Japa, Abi. All right. So share the videos and let me know what you think in the comment section. I'll be glad to engage with you. See you in my next video.